It's been a little while though, since I last had a look at a viewer-submitted game. Well, here we go. We're on Kairos Junction, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, playing with the red Zerg drones. We're looking inside of the main base of A-Move. Interestingly enough, he's, a Zerg player. Already going for the 12 spawning pool, but, if you were to make me guess if a player is called A-Move, I would probably assume he would play another race, but that doesn't really matter all too much. His opponent on the other side of the map, going for a wall-off on the low ground. A little bit of a cheeky one. We're looking inside of the main base of Sturenhof. Sturenhof in all uppercase. Not entirely sure where that man is from. Does that mean something? Sturenhof. It probably has some sort of meaning. Anyways, generally speaking, right, we see Terran players walling at the tippity top of the ramp right here just because it makes it much easier to defend against any kind of Zerg aggression. In this case, Sturenhof is going up against basically the fastest possible spawning pool. And he's gonna be in a little bit of trouble, I feel like. Unless he manages to complete the wall off, get some Marine out, maybe a Reaper, then it'd be okay. The timing right there on the refinery does indicate he's not going to be able to get enough, I don't think, for a Reaper just yet. But anyways, the Zerglings should come out here in just a little bit. Hatchery is going down in the natural. So we'll see where this one is going to take us. Alright, well, command center going up as well. I guess he could probably get a Reaper out. It doesn't line up perfectly. He does need to start it. You need to start it. Sturenhof! 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 Oh my god, he's saving. He's saving for a factory. He wants to get a... Sturenhof! Oh my god. Okay, well, this game, right from the get-go, is already a disaster. The Zerglings managed to get into the natural right here. They're going to be able to pick up the SCV that's building the command center. That's going to hurt quite a bit. At the same time, Zerglings move into the main. Nice little bit of micro right there by A-Move. I believe both of these players are in Diamond League, although the target firing on the one in the natural is pretty bad. Should go ahead and pick that up, buddy. There you go. Go ahead, pick it off. Now, this is a very common thing that happens a lot whenever I see players cheese, right? In the meantime, A-Move is, yes, dealing a bunch of damage, but he's also dealing a whole lot of damage to himself. It's really impressive. He's basically found a way to smack himself in the face at the same time. This guy, he's got a baseball bat, and first he smashed it in his opponent's face, and then he hit it, on the downswing once again in his own face, because he's piling on the minerals like no tomorrow. Not producing anything at home. Yes, he's got a nice little trail right here of SCVs following him around. But you know what, all things considered? I think that Sturenhof is just fine. I think that actually Sturenhof is just fine. And finally, right now, the Zerglings die. The Overlord will also get picked off. And finally, we see some macro once again on this side of the Zerg. Alright, so let's assess the situation. A-Move right now, 26 supply, about 21 or so drones. His opponent, also on 2 bases, 22 supply at this point. Going for the factory finally, which I think he wanted to do a little while ago. And he's already sitting at a pretty healthy amount of workers as well. So all things considered, A-Move is actually not really that far ahead. He decides to go for a 3rd hatchery right now, which I think is okay. Going up towards the 3rd hatchery at this point in the game is pretty clever, because he needs to drop his minerals anywhere, and it doesn't really matter too much. Terran's not gonna be able to really get too aggressive for at least not a little while. Now, apparently losing one Overlord was not enough. A-Move apparently throwing a bit of a tantrum because he did end up losing those Zerglings for free. Lost one of his Overlords for free as well, and apparently he wants to sacrifice some more units to the Blood God. Do you see that? Dude, there's this bug in my game. I don't know why. I've tried reinstalling the game. I've tried removing my ini file. The units just disappear every once in a while. Every once in a while, the death animation just doesn't exist. Okay. Now, I think if A-Move would have macroed, though, while he was microing the Zerglings, he probably would have been able to actually get into a really, really good spot. Since that didn't happen, the tables are basically turned. I actually would probably say that it is the Terran player at this point who is ahead. Terran going up towards the 3rd command center right now, finally getting up to the starport as well. Building a lot of those SCVs. And this is where, for Zerg, it actually becomes pretty tricky. Like, when do you want to continue droning, and when do you decide that it's been enough? Like, how do you decide, and at what point do you decide to start building army? At least that's the issue that I personally always run into. Usually, my advice is just simply make as many drones as you can. And when you think you can't make any more because it gets a little bit too greedy, that's when you start finally making some army here as well. All things considered though, A-move is following it up pretty well so far. Ooh, I like this. Stuurhof, a little bit late right there on the starport, does decide to go straight into the fusion core when it finished. So I'm assuming we have a little bit of Battlecruiser action. I mean, technically speaking, right? Once upon a time, people used to rush up towards a fusion core to try and get out that Liberator ranged upgrade, which is actually pretty good. But I don't think it's going to be the case this time around. Ooh, there we have it. Pneumatized Carapace, Overlord speed is done. Queens apparently are going to be loaded up, as well as 1 Roach, 2 Roach. Can 1 more Roach go in? No? That Queen, okay. Dude, that is beautiful. 4 Queens inside of a plane. Look at them. It's a weird looking plane, not the ones that I would like to fly in, but at the very least it's quite reliable and now pretty quick as well. Battlecruiser is starting up though. We see Stuurhof now also transitioning towards that 3rd orbital command. He's already got a couple of those siege tanks out. I think actually without the mother, or rather not the mothership, the Battlecruiser, this could actually be a pretty good spot here for Zerg, but A-move is slowing down so much. A-move, get a move on, dude. He's going, by the way, for the least A-movie army. Morphing in 1 Ravager. That's really gonna seal the deal. Okay, 2 Ravagers. There's another one somewhere. This is giving Terran so much time, though, that Stimpack is gonna finish here in a little bit. Queens, though, do decide to drop right here on the high ground. Oh! He thinks it's a prism! Good micro so far, though, by A-move. Going for the least A-movie strategy I've seen so far. And those Queens will indeed be able to get into that army, or into that plane, just fine. And if you drop them right in between, apparently they will be able to start going to town right here on the siege tanks, which are forced to unsiege, as they are kind of like World of Warcraft vanilla hunters, where there's like a little bit of range where they can't actually attack. 3 corrosive biles? Nope, only 2, because we only saw 2 Ravagers morphing in. SCVs, though, hugging this, giving them the love that they deserve, but at the same time, the Battlecruiser manages to join into the army here as well, and that is a lot of damage right here by A-move, who actually manages to break this Terran army with a freaking Queen drop. I really like it. Now, keep in mind, yes, there certainly is a lot of damage that has been dealt so far by Stuurhof, or by A-move here. But there's still 3 orbital commands and they're dropping mules, and obviously Battlecruisers are going to be able to clean this up, right? There we have it. The Terran mule's already going to town. Now, you'd imagine, right, at this point in the game, Terran is going to be in an awful spot, right? Well, unless these roaches manage to get in as well, and more of them. Dude, Stuurhof, put down the wall, dude. Channel your inner American. Get the wall going. Or actually, I guess not starting the wall is maybe a little bit more accurate. Anyways, now more of these SCVs, though, are being picked off, and actually 0 remain. 0 remain. Not a single one. This one Battlecruiser trying its very best. Dealing a little bit of damage from the skies, picking up as many of these kills as it can, but eventually, it probably is going to be able to get all of this, you know, out of the game, but eventually, Zerg is going to have to come up with a follow-up plan. So, what I was saying earlier, right? Usually, you got to be rather careful. If a Terran player has 3 of those mules, and maybe like 1 or 2 Battlecruisers, they can oftentimes climb back into the game. Keep in mind, A-move did this off of only 35 workers. He does have a couple of sport crawlers set up, which I quite like. He also did end up going for the lair, and I was going to say he needs a Spire. Just playing with Hydralisk or Queens is not going to be enough. You kind of need a Spire, especially once it's 2 of these Battlecruisers. Still, though, that is 3 Terran mules at once. Pretty good, all things considered. Look at the mineral ring count. Oh, this is so dirty. This hurts me so much as a Zerg player. Well, there we go, though. The Battlecruisers do jump across, but look, you just kill literally every single SCV, right? And then Terran drops a bunch of mules and their economy is right once again. Battlecruisers are going to be able to do a little bit more damage. Now, keep in mind, they use tactical jump to try and make their way across the map, so they got to be a little bit cautious. A lot of drones are being fed right now as well towards these BCs. But Battlecruisers, of course, rather tanky units. They're actually going to be able to make short work of all of this. Ooh. I actually have no idea who's going to win this. I mean, my gut instinct is telling me A-move is in a really good spot here. But I've seen Terrans pull rabbits out of hats with Battlecruisers before. Although I say that right as... Well, I think most of these BCs are going to die. Dude, that one has 38 kills. 50 worker kills so far by A-Move. The worker count, though, is looking not even that great here for Zerg either. Take him. Target fire. Actually, just kill the queen. Yeah, just get it. Dude, that is so dirty. And A-Move, once again, doing the thing that he was doing earlier as well when he was microing the Zerglings. While he's microing, he forgets all about macro. There's no more macro here. All he was trying to do is microing. Like, he's microing spore crawlers right now. He's got a Spire. All he really needs to do is bring in the queen and then make a couple corruptors. That would not be a bad idea, but eventually, I guess... Wait, did he lose the Battlecruiser? Did he just lose the Battlecruiser to a spore crawler? Did that really happen just now?
Shame. Shame. Shame.
That was literally nothing else left over other than a stationary spore crawler. I think Tactical Jump must have come off cooldown after that point as well. Anyways, apparently... Oh, he decides to go for Mutalisk. I don't know about Mutalisk, guys. I mean, Terran has about 79 answers to Mutalisk. Keep in mind, Stimpack did finish up. Stuurhof, by the way, in the meantime, has really been doing a good job macroing up. He's actually been macroing and microing at the same time, which is really, really important. Thank you very much, Vex Freeze, for the bits. But here we go. The Marines do have to get in position. There's currently not really a whole lot available. Stuurhof, come on, dude. Hey, psst, Jimmy. Jimmy, hey, Jimmy. Jimmy, hey. How long was that? Did anyone keep track? 30 seconds? I mean, I can keep pressing this button.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
You know my favorite thing whenever I cast games like this? And I mentioned at the beginning, hey, it's a Diamond League game. Half the comments on the YouTube channel are like, Lowko, there's no way these guys are in Diamond League. I'm in Diamond League too, and I'm way better. But it's every single game that I've ever casted. It happens every time. Who's right? All right, Stim is done. There you go. And eventually it looks like the Mutas will be warded away as well. So 67 SCVs have been killed so far. A-Move, obviously, he was busy microing those Mutas. He's still sitting on a healthy number of resources. Going up to a Nidus Worm right now. So wait, let me get this straight, right? The majority of his army is Mutalisks, and he decides to make a Nidus Worm next. Now look, don't get me wrong. I like the creativity, and I do like the way he's playing the game so far. It's a lot of fun, but... are you gonna bring the queens? Are you gonna... bring the drones? Maybe he wants to bring the drones and the queens and then put a tumor on the other side and do a spine crawler rush. What do you think? Hey, by the way, Stuurhof, have you heard of this structure called the missile turret? It's basically a turret that shoots missiles. It kind of had it in the name. Oh my god, he's actually leaving. Dude, he's actually leaving. He's just gonna go for an all-in right now? Well, hey, we've seen this Terran reduced to 0 SCVs once upon a time before. I think we may very well see it once again. 0 workers remain. At the same time, though, Stuurhof does manage to get into this really sweet spot over here. You should put the tank over there, actually. That would be much nicer. Anyways, the Stimpack button has been pressed, and there we go. These Marines are going to be able to go to town right here on all of those drones. Very nicely done here. This is actually not even a terrible fight for Terran. You know what? These Mutas can't fight this one-on-one. It's going to be Swarm Host, by the way, for A-Move, which I also don't think are going to be that good against these Marines. No, don't do it. Oh, smart man. A-Move baiting out the combat drugs. He wants these Marines to use Stim really badly. Yeah, Siege Tank dies there, but I think that's probably the least valuable target. Yeah, no, Swarm Host, guys. Oh! Dude, these Mutas. Swarm Host. I don't know. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on it. And obviously, in the meantime, at home, a couple of those mules are landed. He is busy microing this. Oh my god. Oh, Army Old King, Swarm Host and Mutas against Marines. Oh god. Okay, well, he does have a Nidus Worm. If he manages to get like a worm across the map, that'd be... Dude, if you killed the Nidus network... Okay, no, I was gonna say, I didn't realize that the worm already went up. If you manage to kill the Nidus network when all the units are in, and you kill like both sides, if there's only one side, if you kill only one side, you actually kill all the units that are inside of the worm. Okay, so you know what? This is turning out to be a really sick game. So many drones remain, but they don't really have a place to mine. Apparently they're gonna go for the third base, but the main is gone. The tech is gone right here as well. Sturhoff is gonna have a hard time getting these units home. But to be fair, there's not really that much here to stop him either. Alright. Looks like we have reached a bit of a lull in the game. The spawning pool will be picked off. And in the meantime at home, right? Sturhoff is slowly but surely rebuilding his economy. He has been reduced to 0 workers twice. His economy still not really looking that strong. But he's making a unit that's good against everything, right? Like, no one's ever looked at Marines and thought, I wish I didn't make those. Marines are basically always good. Whereas if you compare it to, like, Mutalisk, there's a lot of times where Mutas just simply aren't that great. If you compare it to Swarm Host, they're also a very situational unit. Marines are really good and well-rounded. And I think if A-Move decided to go for, like, say, Roaches, or even Hydralisk, or Roach Hydra, or Banelings, Zerglings, even Queens... You would have been in such a good spot, but spawning pool does get forced to be cancelled once again. Sturhoff manages to kill the base. Luckily though for A-Move, he's acquired 2 more hatcheries. They're kind of on opposite ends of the map, and obviously Sturhoff isn't really going to be able to... oh my god, he uses stim once again. That's risky. I don't know if you want to stim, to be honest. I think at this point you don't really want to stim anymore. What? Ugh. Oh my god. Oh, Nidus Worm micro? Dude, if the Nidus Worm falls while the queens are in, that's the end of the queens. Alright. So, spawning pool does finally get recreated. Spawning pools actually take a surprisingly long time. Anyways. I think eventually Zerg is probably going to be able to deflect this. These Marines are basically as good as dead. They hold their little combat shields, which gave them magical additional hit points. Anyways, Sturhoff right there manages to pick up a couple of these overlords right here on his way out as well. Okay. A-Move. He finished up his spawning pool. He's now going to a Baneling Nest. And he's also making spine crawlers. All of this obviously requires the spawning pool. The first game where you ever lose a spawning pool, you'll remember how long it actually takes to build a spawning pool. Spawning pool takes a very long time. You'd imagine a spawning pool built really quickly. Nope, they take really, really long. So finally right now, A-Move manages to get it back up. He's once again securing another base. But Sturhoff, in the meantime, is building up his economy quite nicely. Should we open up the I hotkey and see the amount of income? Look at the Terran mineral income. Oh, now I want to believe. I've seen Banelings smashing into Marines before. And obviously, most of this Terran army is going to be Marine-based, right? Like, look, there they are. Even though the Jimmies were sleeping on the job earlier, these guys right here are in full effect. I think actually if Sturhoff decides to just simply reinforce this and go for the bases where he knows army is located and where he knows that the mining of Zerg is happening, he's probably going to be okay. Double evolution chamber? A-Move. It's ambitious. I give you that. But I feel like Evo chambers right now are not really what you're looking for. I really think just building up a solid unit composition is better. Like, even going burrow and just, like, burrowing a bunch of Banes in different locations, I think that's actually a pretty good idea. Evo chambers, they can work if you have, like, enough to stabilize, but I don't really know if you can call this a stable Zerg economy. Now, obviously, in the mind of A-Move right now, right? He knows that Terran has been reduced to basically 0 workers. He probably thinks there may have been some, but he knows that Terran has been reduced to very low worker counts several times. I mean, he's killed almost he almost killed 100 freaking SCVs. That's a lot of SCVs. That's a lot of dead SCVs. That Siege Tank trying to kill some as well. Good work, Siege Tank, killing some of your friends. Oh my god. Oh, that is so many dead SCVs. That Siege Tank probably was responsible for like 5 as well. Good work, Siege Tank. Good work, mate. I'm glad it's sieged up specifically for that job as well. 1-1 right now coming up. Lair is done. I kind of want to see Baneling speed. I think Baneling speed would not be a bad idea. You know what else would be a good idea, though? Sturhoff just simply moving across the map. Yeah. Go, dude. Go. You need to go. Just go. I won't even give you a hard time for using the F2 all army hotkey, okay? Just go. The last thing you can have here is a Zerg player that decides to remake everything. Oh, good. Good control there. Yeah, Sturhoff. Oh my god, Sturhoff, you jerk. Sturhoff, you absolute jerk! He's like, you know what? I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him GG. I'm gonna tell him GG. The BM right there from Sturhoff. And A-Move says, offensive GG after such a cool game. That's just sad. Well, 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 Sturhoff. Even though it looks like you've won this match.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
I'm still gonna have to ring the bell of shame because that was not the way that I want people to play StarCraft, okay? Don't be that guy. Don't be Sturhoff, okay? Now look, I understand. He's like, you know what? This guy, he cheesed me. Then he decided to do like a cheeky switch. He killed my Battlecruisers. And then A-Move says, wait, what did he say? GG, well played. I hope you enjoyed this game. Something along those lines. What a mannered player. GG, well played. So even though Sturhoff lost all of his SCVs twice, not just a single time, but he lost all of his SCVs twice, he still ended up winning this game. I can't imagine, though, what would have happened here. Or I would like to know, really. What would have happened if A-Move decided to just, like, macro while he was, like, being aggressive? Couple occasions, right? First, when he was microing those Zerglings, he completely forgot how to macro. Then when he was microing the Queens against the Battlecruisers, once again, raking in those minerals, not really spending them anywhere. And then, obviously, when he was flying the Mutas around the map as well. Anyways, GG well played. Sturhoff is the one who obtains the victory.